Dr. Susan Plank, and I have a chiropractic practice. That was my primary focus outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And through the years, I've transformed that, and I'm in the process of going virtually for a nutrition practice. And I've been just thrilled with the transformation that it not only the practice is taking, but the freedom and the energy it's reinstilled in my life personally. So I am just thrilled about the results. So before I met Lesli and decided to start working with Lesli, I'll tell you, I was really getting disheartened with healthcare and my part that I played in it. I saw the limitations of one-on-one, the time constraints, insurance reimbursement was getting to be less and less, let alone sort of the craziness that the pandemic brought to even trying to make a living as a chiropractor. And even though I'd started a weight loss nutrition practice prior to the pandemic, boy, that really made a shift in how effectively I thought I could help those that I was working with. So even though I'd seen the writing on the wall for probably years ahead of time, there were a few instances in practice in my desire to reach the goals for the life I wanted to live professionally and personally that made me start to reach out and ask for help in areas that I just wasn't sure what the heck I was doing. And one of those, I have to admit, is I don't think many of us are learn that business aspect, the psychology of how to approach someone, to talk in their lingo. We're taught to be so clinical that I think a lot of times we miss the mark. I was missing the mark in being able to help people because I wasn't well-rounded and able to reach them where they were. So ultimately, I decided to move forward with Lesli because I was coming out of a prior coaching experience. I realized after way too long that I just wasn't making the headway that I wanted to for where I wanted to be. And so I really had no problem reaching out for help and assistance. We ask our clients to do it, right? So I wanted to look for a business coach that could guide me in the right direction. Unfortunately, the first one wasn't a good fit, and it was sort of a pie in the sky. They didn't meet me where I was. They didn't really understand the ramifications of healthcare and where I found myself. So after investing a lot of money in a year of time, I felt even more frustrated. But I wanted to keep my options open. And I knew I still wanted to work with a coach, but now I had a better understanding. I wanted a coach that couldn't just promise maybe a dollar sign, but promised a quality of life and promised me the ability to take the skills that I have and to reach more people, to help more people live the lives that they want to live. And so sure enough, I had seen Lesli give a presentation through the pandemic, and I thought, wow, she brings a nice presence to it. What she made was logical. She hit the emotions. And so I thought, well, I'm going to sort of dabble in this and find out a little bit more. And wouldn't you know, maybe 6 weeks later, I saw she was doing a challenge, a Facebook challenge. So I hopped on that. And as soon as I was part of the challenge, I'm telling you folks, 15 minutes in, I just, a peace and a calmness came over me. And I said, Lesli's the one. I have to work with Lesli because I could just tell by her approach, she was getting it. She's been where I had been. She knew the pitfalls, and she was there to be my guide to get the practice of my dreams. So after making that decision that Lesli is the one, I wanted to work with her. Let's do this. I think that was actually my response to her. Let's do this. Is the amount that I've learned in just a few months is actually mind-blowing to me, of how and what I was doing in practice for decades, folks. I've been in practice for decades, and I didn't know some of these things. I alluded to my messaging was just off. You've got to meet the person where they are. They've got to feel like they have confidence that you understand where they're coming from. I love the part with Lesli where she gave me a raise. I got to increase my prices. I repackaged some things, and instead of everything that I offered again as a one-on-one, that was what I was trying to get away from with chiropractic. Everything was my time, one-on-one, limited. And so I had just unfortunately repeated the same model, just doing it nutritionally. And Lesli, with working so closely with Lesli, she stepped in and she said, "Hey, let's look at a group program. How can we repackage what you're doing? What other things can we start to offer so you can reach a bigger segment of the population?" So I really feel positively about everything we've done. I don't feel that my quality of care as a clinician has suffered in the least. In fact, I think it's made it sharper that in a group program, you have phases of care, and you're getting to support everyone, and they're supporting each other through that phase of care. So I think my biggest fear was probably, it's that my care is going to suffer. If anything, I think it was just enhanced. The marketing of the message got clearer. My ability to meet people where they are and to help guide them forward has just grown exponentially. Of course, we're in business. Our business is there to make a profit. And so there's tangible, but also intangible benefits. A couple of the intangible is more freedom for me to do the things that I've wanted to do. But the tangible, folks, the amount of time that I have to spend with one client to get them from point A to point B. And now, as a group program, we're making those same steps, but think of it exponentially now. Instead of working one-on-one, I'm now working in a group of 8, 10, 12, and even more is my hope. So you can imagine then, when the work you're putting in, that time becomes so much more efficient, and you're helping so many other folks at the same time. So I really want you to stay open to it. And I've seen my income grow when I do a group program now by 30% in a shorter amount of time than it would take me to treat all these or work with all these people individually. So there is great benefits to being open to considering a group program and working with Lesli, who she will do her best to get you there. She'll always make sure it's a fit for you and what you want for your life and your practice. If you even will remotely consider where you could be if you had the guidance of a coach, your own coach, to listen to your dreams, your hopes, financially even, where do you want to be? Because I want you to look at your practice, look at your life, and are you getting there on your own? I kept thinking I would get there. I would get there. And I've been in practice for 3 decades, folks, 30 years. I waited an awfully long time. I don't want you to wait. All you have to do is reach out. Someone like Lesli, and specifically Lesli, is the way to go. She knows what we're going through. She understands the clinical realm because she's been there. She understands the private realm because of private practice realm because she's been there too. But I'm telling you, her expertise as a coach is phenomenal to take your skills and everything you have to bring to the table to help the people that you want to help most. And so please, seriously consider Where could you be in your practice, in your life, if you opened up to the concept of bringing in a professional, a coach like Lesli, to get you to the next step and not meandering in time the way I did for much too long? I honestly can't imagine my professional life moving forward without me working with Lesli. I just can't imagine it right now. I only have positive things, and I'm looking so forward to what comes next. So from burnout to baby, let's do it. I'm just so excited to be in practice again and ready to, let's just help people. Let's help them get better.